Welcome back to the channel, your home of crypto and real estate cycle updates. Let's follow up from yesterday's video as our targets have been hit to the downside. Our support and resistance to the upside has been tested. And we're going to look at two specific things in this video. The most critical things when it comes to our trading and investing. We look at confirmation and the momentum. Now, of course, there's tons of critical things when it comes to trading and investing, but these are the main points that I'm seeing in the market at the moment. The momentum is what is required to get us to those bigger price targets, and the confirmation is what's required to keep us safe if we are trading. So it helps in both regards, and you can use a confirmation for your longer term dollar cost averaging investing as well. So if you haven't already, likes, subscribes, bell notification icon, all of those things down below. I know it's annoying, but it does help out the channel and pushes this content into your news feeds if you want to see more of it as well. If you're looking for a crypto exchange to spread your risk across, check out the link to Bybit, top of the video description. $4,450 of sign up deposit bonuses using that link down below. Bitcoin is where we left off yesterday. The market did fall a little bit. I had it on Twitter as well last night as I saw the market start to break and slice really nicely through the 50% level. It has acted as support, and the 50% is basically from our top to our bottom, significant levels here. So this was our daily move to the upside. The slicing is a good sign. If you're using the 50% tool, you want to see that for a trade. You can see the market came and tested it, had a small, very weak bounce, and we look specifically at this bounce being quite short. And as it sliced through the lows at 19.8 and then 19.7, we got a quick move to the downside. So that's when you know that if you're going a short-term trade, it's probably going to work out at least to the next support or resistance level. And in this case, we got to for a short trade, the resistance, which is actually acting as support to the long side. And that was 18,900, this yellow line across the top, which were the bodies of the 4-hour candles from that significant cycle low. Currently, we could go lower, but currently that is the cycle low area, and that was the top of those candle bodies. So that's why we were looking at that specifically being an area for Bitcoin to find some sort of resistance if you're going short, or support if we're looking to the long side. And it's basically bounced back past that level very, very cleanly at this stage. The level that it needed to get above was 19.7, nice slicing through again. If I wanted to trade this just on a shorter term time frame, looking at our swing chart as well, so this is the TIA GAN swing indicator. I've left a link to this in the video description. You've got a swing here, which was a potential entry. So that's just above the top at $19,050. But for me, I like more confirmation. And as we talked about earlier, I want confirmation. Well, that's one of the big things I want when I'm trading. And I think it's pretty critical to have confirmation in what you're doing. So from that top, I'm probably looking more so at these tops as an entry above for a long signal as well. So those areas to where we currently are is about a 5, call it about 6% rise from that sort of trade. And so if I was trading this just as something quick here, I'd be looking to maybe trail the lows, because this has been such a quick, sharp move to the upside. So if I look at these tops, let's use the higher one just so that we are using the smallest amount of profit here. To the downside, this is on the hourly. It's only at about 5%. So depending on which leverage has been used, that's up to you. The reason I bring that up, and I know not everyone is looking to trade short term, the reason I bring it up is that this move has been such a big bounce, I would expect it to come back and test some of the lower prices. And if I wanted to lock in some quick profit, that's what I'd be looking to do. What I want to see from this point, what the market needs to see, not just what I want to see, is 19,700 come back as that support again, because we've broken through it on some good volume. That would be the test to make up the confirmation that we are going to go back up and test the higher prices. Right now, it's a pretty tricky market because it just keeps chopping backwards and forwards, coming back to test old resistance levels, act as support, break through previous support and resistance, and do the same thing over and over again. So for now, the market has shown that we've got a higher low, which is a good sign on the daily, which is a much bigger time frame than the 4-hour and the hourly. Of course, you know, we're looking at the macro in this case would be the daily if you were trading the shorter term time frames. Now, for us longer term people looking at investing or dollar cost averaging, you know, I'm chopping and changing between two different time frames here to give us an insight about the shorter term to the longer term. We've got the daily. We've got a couple of nice looking patterns here. We can look at the bullish engulfing pattern. I don't always use candles, but I do like to see these patterns happen at the extremes of moves. They're much more significant when they happen at the extremes of moves. And if you want to argue against me and say that this wasn't the extreme of a move, saying that low, that one's on you. I'll say that it's definitely an extreme of the move every day of the week. And so what we've seen is red, green, engulfing. It's not the greatest engulfing. You kind of want to see a smaller bar and a large bar just take the whole thing out. But you've got something like a bullish railway tracks engulfing. Okay, so we got one signal there. That's the major low. That's a good sign. Next is yesterday's bar. Looking at has a number of names. Spinning top pattern bullish. You got these looking like kind of dojis, but not. But also dragonflies as well. So we have a lot of names for something quite similar. And in bar patterns, we call this a key reversal. So I'm going into the nuts and bolts of this because these are two great areas for a low to come in, especially when these signals happen after a major low and we get the higher low. So momentum is what is missing right now. We're not getting that follow through to the upside. And we want that confirmation of another daily close above the 50% level. So we're really trying to get above that. And if these two can hold this level and now this level, which is the higher low, which is very good sign so far, then I think we have the chance to attempt the 22,000 level. And if you want a more specific number, probably 21,500 to 21,900, because that's where the market was not able to close above, for more than one slight day, and then the top came in. So that's the critical stuff that I'm looking at for now for Bitcoin. Now that we've seen this next level come in, higher than that level, higher low, good sign. Some of those bar patterns or candles, great signs. The volume, good signs. Confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. Momentum is what we need. So this is sort of the trading thing at the moment. And if you're not trading, this is basically the news before you hear the news, because this is what the smart money are doing actually right now, rather than waiting to hear what they're doing. Just like some of the news that has come up lately with crypto hedge funds, Three Arrow Capital plunging into liquidation. Like we're seeing that news now, and a lot of that has been over the last couple of weeks. But surely they were probably trying to sell off through here, and other smart money knew about that, which they knew would then tank the market. And this is what you're seeing in the charts now. You got other things like BlockFi, pretty much down 90 odd percent. You can see here their valuation was 5 billion. Oh, here we go, 5 billion, down 90%. Now they're valued at less than 500 million. So a lot of these companies are trending around their lows, even though this was known well beforehand. And that's what we see on the charts. Obviously, that's my belief as a technical analyst. And I've seen it play out pretty well over the last 12 plus years. So as a recap on that mini lesson, the low looking okay. The low yesterday looking okay. We've got some strength above the 50% level, this short-term time frame here that we're looking at on the daily. Good. Volume looking good. Momentum is lacking. We've got quite a few confirmations. Momentum is lacking for now. Let's look at cryptocurrencies, starting with ETH. And I don't always consider ETH an altcoin, but we'll throw it in the basket of cryptos at this point. The lows, it has just taken those lows out and then tried to close above. So we're at the 50% level again, which is 1,080. So if we can get that, similar sort of patterns here, you can see the bars have done that bullish engulfing pattern here where we've wiped out all of the previous price action from the previous day, moving up, and then the bit of a spinning top here. Okay, we need to see this come up a little bit higher and get some confirmation today and a close above probably that 1100 level for ETH to come back and test the 1300, but good to see some of that volume coming in as well. Total 3 is the proxy for the cryptocurrency markets. It does include stablecoins, so that's a bit of a drag, but at least we can get a pricing on the total market cap. And so the market is now holding up above the 22nd of June low, which is a good sign because that was the previous swing low. So we saw the market try and run those stops, and this is for obviously all of the cryptocurrencies. This is generally what is happening across the board, running the stops back on these dates here and then trying to close back above it so that we're getting a lot of the stops taken out. The buyers can step back in and then take the market a little bit higher. So then we've flushed out all of those stops. We weren't able to get back to these lows, so that's a reasonably good sign. Those lows are the closing and opening prices of the bars back at the low. So that's another reasonable sign, but we need that confirmation of this market closing above 356, call it $360 billion in total market cap. What does that look like for the rest of crypto? So let's look at Cardano, as is another major crypto, big market caps. A lot of people trade it, even if you hate it. It's out there, volumes are high. We need to look at it. So this is a level that has been respected so far, 46 cents. If that breaks down, probably going to see a lot lower prices. You can see that it has bounced. The bounces are getting smaller, so it's not a great sign, and it looks like it might give way eventually. The upside to this is that it's holding up. All right, we got a bit of volume in yesterday. Best volume it's seen, at least on the exchange here of Kraken, in the last sort of 8 days or so. So that's a reasonable sign. The key level here for me is at least to the downside, to the lower side is 52 cents, and then we want to see about 54-cent close. What does that look like? Well, glad you asked. We need to get back above the downtrend, and that has been what is stopping ADA this time. Those tops there at 52 and then 54. So I think if ADA can get to this point, then we are much more in a positive state. Confirmation is there. The momentum is there. This is what the market needs to see, regardless of whatever's in the news, whatever Charles Hoskinson is doing, whatever ADA said is coming up in some sort of roadmap. Doesn't matter. What matters is what are the buyers and the sellers doing? What the hell are they doing now? And the chart tells you what they're doing. Not many buyers are stepping in from this point. This is what we need to see for some positive signs, or at least a long trade here. It doesn't really matter whether it's positive or negative. If you're trying to make money, it just needs to be in the bullish or the bearish state. So break above 54, confirmation. Let's go and try to test around mid 60s to 70 cent levels for ADA. So yeah, that breaks down. Keep your alerts down there, and then we'll probably see, unfortunately for the holders, lower prices on ADA, but it's hanging in there. Solana, similar sort of thing here. We saw it got rejected a few days ago, and we are now attempting to break back above these lows here at the 22nd of June. You can see it's been a reasonably significant level here for a lot of cryptocurrencies. Let's look at the total market cap. There it is, the 22nd. The market has come down to wash out any of the stops that are beneath the 22nd. That's why this total 3 works so well. Solana, same sort of thing here, and now it's trying to climb back above. Levels here, $37, critical level here. And then above that, again, that higher level at about $43. So this was the peak before we got rejected at the major. Let's try that again, 50% level right here, and the market falling to come back underneath. So this so far weak. It is potentially, not yet, but potentially could form a lower high. And of course, that would then mean lower highs and lower lows. So stay tuned. Be aware of what is happening at this level here at around $37 for Solana. These are the major cryptocurrencies. So, we can see what's happening next, especially on the total 3. It's going to give us a bit of an update for what's going on with the cryptos. I know a lot of people love to be dollar cost averaging into cryptos at the moment, but that is just not my belief. I think there is still a possibility of a lot lower prices, especially because we haven't seen the momentum push through yet. We don't need to buy the exact low. We just need to make profits from the market. I'm glad you're still here in the bear market, because now you understand that it is about making profits. It's not about being a hero, about buying the lows and buying the tops. You just want to make some profit at the end of the day. Our Bitcoin bottom target was hit, 18,900, with a couple of $100 underneath before we saw a significant bounce to the upside, at least significant in this trading range. And now the caution, the warning is on cryptocurrencies as they try to bounce as well. But you can see just the weakness in the cryptos compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin bounced above the 50% level. We got a close, and now it's trying to do that again. Whereas you look at ADA, it's still lagging. It's very, very weak here. You look at Solana, it's still under the 50% level. You look at the total 3 market cap, it's trying very hard to get above the 50% level, but for Bitcoin, it's above that level. So that's the balancing act that we are working out here. Help us out with the balancing act of the likes and the subscribes. Click the buttons down below. I hope you like the segue into it, because I think it is quite boring to ask for likes and subscribes, but it helps the channel out. And you can grab yourself $4,450 of sign-up deposit bonuses with the link to Bybit in the top of the video description. Great cryptocurrency exchange for this bear market. I'll see you guys at the next video. Until then, peace out.